If you commute from Summerville to downtown Charleston every day, here's the number that should really bother you. Just over 400 extra hours a year compared to living in Mount Pleasant. That's 10 work weeks spent in a car. I'm Brett Kelly with the Tree Team. If you're moving to Charleston, South Carolina in 2026, this is the video that nobody else is making. And I personally pulled real drive time data for the 10 suburbs that our team actually does work and ranked each one from closest to downtown to farthest. Then I'll walk you through what it's actually like to live in each one. No guessing, no Zillow photos, real numbers, real neighborhoods. Most moving to Charleston videos treat commute like it's fixed forever. You pick a suburb, that's your drive time. Forever. That's it. That's not true anymore. Major employers here are relocating out to meet the growth, not the other way around. And there's real construction happening right now that's going to change some of these numbers. So today's 20-minute commute might be a lot shorter in 3 years' time. I'll flag exactly where that's happening already. Here's how I build this list. There are actually 10 areas that our team does cover around the Charleston metro area, and I measured each one of these based off of a fixed point to downtown. I used Google Maps, pulled everything together, and used the same time of day for depart time, which is 7:30 a.m., rush hour. So not getting the ideal numbers that you'll hear or see from most people. Let's start with the furthest away. Now, number 10, Summerville. This one actually covers a few different zip codes, and each one's got real growth happening too. Downtown Summerville, the historic core around Hutchinson Square and then Azalea Park, home to the Flowertown Festival, which is every spring. This sits in 29483. So does Pine Forest, which is an established golf, tennis, and swim community, as well as the Ponds, which is a newer community from Coulter Homes with over 1,000 acres of preserved land, a community lake, and even have their own on-site YMCA. Then you head into 29485, and this is where you've got Westcott Plantation and Legend Oaks, both golf communities, plus Summers Corner, a Lennar community built around a 95-acre lake called Buffalo Lake. Still actively adding new sections, which includes a 55-plus community called the Horizons. And then you've got 29486, which picks up Cane Bay Plantation and the Summerville side of Carnes Crossroads. Wherever you land, you're looking right around an hour, give or take, to get to downtown. And here's where the employer story actually helps Summerville. Volvo, Boeing, and the airport corridor already run shorter commute times than downtown does. MUSC is opening a full next-gen medical center in 2028, right in this very footprint. So of course it's the farthest pick on this list, but for a lot of buyers, the space and the new construction make the trade-off well worth it. Number 9, Ladson. Typically, Ladson's about 30 to 70 minutes to downtown. Exchange Park hosts the Coastal Carolina Fair every October, and that's one of the biggest annual events in the Tri-County area. Shopping clusters around the corner at Westcott. You got Trident Medical Center, which is close by in North Charleston. So what Ladson actually offers is a lower price point and easier highway access, trading some of the historic character you get closer to the peninsula. Number 8, Hanahan. Typically about 28 to 55 minutes downtown. The Hanahan Recreation Complex and Hawks Nest Park give you 53 acres of fields, tennis, and trails. The Goose Creek Reservoir adds kayaking and fishing right in town. A new walkable district called Blackwell's Corner is under construction now and expected to open in 2027 with new dining and retail. Tanner Plantation has docks and a clubhouse. Yeamans Hall is a historic private golf community. On the employer side, Joint Base Charleston, Boeing, and NIWC, which is a Naval Information Warfare Center Atlantic, are all about 10 to 15 minutes out. Park Circle, then, you just have it right down the road, really, 5 to 10 minutes. Number 7 is Goose Creek, typically 26 to 55 minutes to downtown. Crowfield Golf Club and Goose Creek Reservoir anchor the outdoor side of things. And Crowfield Plantation is 2,800 acres of trails, pools, and tennis. And Carnes Crossroads straddles the Goose Creek and Summerville line. Honest trade-off. Highway 52 and the Naval Weapons Station gate back up at rush hour. That's the honest truth. But that same gate means Joint Base Charleston is close, and Boeing and the airport are a short drive south. Number 6 is Johns Island. Typically 24 to 40 minutes to get to downtown. And this rural low country character, not another beach suburb, is fantastic. The Angel Oak tree, which is over 400 years old. Johns Island County Park, which has trails, equestrian facilities. You got Legree Farms, which is a real working farm, by the way. So you got many dining options that have absolutely exploded recently. Wild Olive, Royal Turn, Low Tide Brewery, plus the Saturdays farmers market's a nice thing to have. Here's the honest trade-off and the forward-looking story, both at once. Maybank Highway and River Road carry almost all of the island's traffic. Plus, everyone heading to Kiowa and Seabrook and Watamala. That's real, and it's in the range I gave you, but there's a $445 million project already under construction for that exact bottleneck. The largest infrastructure project in Charleston County's history, targeted for completion in September of 2028. Same story throughout the list. Commute is a snapshot, it's not a life sentence. Well, we're past the halfway mark on our entire list. If you're already leaning toward one of these last 5 closer in areas, drop your favorites down in the comments. I'd love to know what your target community and your commute actually looks like. Number 5 is Daniel Island proper, closer to the club and the town center, typically 25 to 35 minutes to downtown. This is a planned community built around tree-lined streets, parks, and miles of trails. The town center has great restaurants, boutique shops, golf, and real marina access. But up Clements Ferry Road into Point Hope, or the newer sections toward Cainhoy and Wando, and you're looking at closer to 45 minutes, give or take. Now here's the thing, the mailing address on all of it is still going to read Charleston, South Carolina 29492. Same zip code, different commute. And that corridor is genuinely booming right now. Point Hope is a 9,000 acre master plan community. It's huge. From the same developers who actually built Daniel Island, with builders like Pulte Homes and Toll Brothers, a Publix anchored retail hub, and Berkeley County's Philip Simmons School right in the area. About half the acreage is protected wetlands and parks and a nature sanctuary, and there's even an active adult community there called Del Webb Point Hope. But now we're rambling. So time for 4th, and we've got a tie, West Ashley. If you're closer to Burnsdown, Avondale, Orange Grove, you're looking at about 25 minutes to get to downtown. But if you head further out towards Bees Ferry Road into Grand Oaks Plantation or Shadow Moss, or down south Highway 17 towards Carolina Bay and Bolton's Landing, and that stretches a little closer to 45 minutes or more. That's the newer construction side of West Ashley too, so something to consider there depending upon what you're looking for. So one more thing that's worth knowing, this is the same corridor project that I mentioned for Johns Island that runs right through here too. $445 million under construction right now, built to remove the rush hour bottleneck between West Ashley and Johns Island with a new flyover and a roundabout at Main and Chisholm Road and River Road, all these improvements to the Limehouse Bridge. Substantial completion on this is projected for September 2028, so this drive time should get better, not get worse. Beyond the commute, West Ashley is the closest area to the peninsula that still isn't priced like the peninsula itself. Charlestown Landing, Magnolia Plantation, Drayton Hall and Middleton Place are all here as well, historic and beautiful. Avondale is the walkable dining strip where you have Home Team Barbecue, the Glass Onion, Triangle Char and Bar, all a great time, great locations. Before I keep going on a tie for 4th place here, I have to just get ahead of the fact that I did mark a tie in general. And I think a lot of why I did this was because we just hosted the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the United States, which is pretty amazing. And although I don't like ties, I do like FIFA and the World Cup. So let's continue on here. Also tied for fourth, North Charleston, same 14 to 26 minute range to get to downtown. Park Circle is the walkable core. Platted back in 1912 as South Carolina's only garden city, and it's home to what has billed as the world's largest inclusive playground. The place is sweet. My son loves it. The old Navy Yard has turned into a real mixed-use district with restaurants and apartments already opening up. And this is the employer story I promised you, where Boeing runs over 8,000 employees close by. Joint Base Charleston and the NIWC Atlantic are both within about 15 minutes. Roper St. Francis is building a brand new $1.2 billion hospital campus right here in North Charleston, breaking ground last year in 2025, completion to be expected 2029. That's roughly 3,600 construction and related jobs during that entire build, according to Roper's own numbers. Not the size of the eventual hospital staff, but it at least gives you an idea and tells you where this area is headed. This is where I'd said that the commute times might change, because right now, Roper St. Francis' main location and campus is downtown Charleston. However, with that transplanting to North Charleston, right in the heart, right next to Boeing, the airport, Charleston International, and the Navy Yard, Park Circle, all of that happening in one area, if you were commuting previously from Summerville to get to downtown, that might totally change the entire game for you, because now you're going from Summerville to North Charleston. Now we're down to number 2, James Island. Typically 14 to 20 minutes to get to downtown, and about the same to get from James Island to Folly Beach in the other direction. The marsh sets the pace here as much as the traffic does. James Island County Park has water access, trails, and a really awesome holiday light show every winter. Riverland Terrace is a historic 1940s neighborhood with a real live oak canopy over the streets. It's beautiful. Bayview Farms and Stiles Point have pool and tennis amenities too. And number 1, the closest area to downtown Charleston on this whole entire list, Mount Pleasant. If you're closer to the Ravenel Bridge, Patriots Point, Old Village, Shem Creek, or Town Center, you're looking at 10 to 15 minutes to downtown. That's for zip code 29464. Head towards Rivertown, Dunes West, Carolina Park, Hamlet Plantation, Park West, and Charleston National, and that's a different zip code. That's 29466, and the drive time now stretches to 25 to 35 minutes or so. Still close to Sullivan's Island and Isle of Palms either way. Just know which part of Mount Pleasant you're looking at, because it makes a real difference in that commute from Mount Pleasant to downtown. Shem Creek is the heart of it. Docks and restaurants side by side. The town center has you covered with shopping on that side of things. If you're searching in Mount Pleasant for real estate, this is the area where commute stops being the deciding factor for a lot of buyers, because if you're near town center, there almost isn't one. Picture both ends of this for a second. Picture getting 440 hours back in your year. That's 10 work weeks. That's every Saturday morning for a year back in your hands, instead of on 526 and I-26. Now on the other side, not because farther out is wrong. Some of you want the acreage, the new construction, the lower price point, and that's Summerville, Goose Creek, and Ladson, and what they actually deliver. And that's a real legitimate choice, but it should be a choice you make on purpose with the real numbers in front of you, not just a guess that you make off of looking at listing photos online. Now, you might be thinking, closest to downtown has got to mean most expensive. Sometimes, yes. Mount Pleasant, near the town center, and Daniel Island proper, they do carry a real premium for that location. But if you look at James Island and West Ashley, those are both right up near the top of the list too. And there's your proof that close and reasonably priced can exist in the same sentence if you know where to look inside of both of those different markets. Now that's genuinely the hardest part of this decision. And it's not something that a ranking video can do for you. It's something that a local advisor who knows every one of these 10 areas street by street actually can. If you're moving to Charleston in 2026 and want help turning this list into an actual short list for your situation, the link in the description goes straight to our free Charleston relocation guide and our VIP home search, built around exactly this: real areas, real data, no guessing. Subscribe if you want the deep dive on each one of these 10 areas, because that's coming one area at a time. And drop a comment. I want to know which one of these 10 surprised you the most. I read every comment, so drop one in. I'm Brett Kelly with the Treat Team, and I'll see you guys on the next one.